Hi there, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to create a flip transition template using Fusion tools in DaVinci Resolve. As usual, you can download and install the flip transition template in DaVinci Resolve. Apply to the clips just like any other video transition effects from the effects library. In the inspector, you can change the flip direction between horizontal and vertical. Check the Invert Flip option to reverse the flip. When the curve option is set to easing, we can choose different animation styles from the in and out drop-down lists. When the curve is set to custom, we can use the mini spline editor to create custom styles. If the curve option is set to linear, the animation will be running at constant speed. We can also enable the motion blur option and use these parameters to adjust the motion blur quality and styles. To add border and shadow, we can select the both clips and create a compound clip. Apply the essential outline effect and drop shadow effect from the OpenFX filters. To create a Fusion transition template, the easiest way is to build off an existing Fusion transition template. Cross Dissolve is a simple Fusion transition template. Apply it to the clips in the timeline and open it in the Fusion page. Media in 1 and Media in 2 are the outgoing and incoming images, which will be the source images used to build the transition effect. Since we will create a new transition effect, we can delete the existing Cross Dissolve group node. Select Media in 1, press Shift-Space to open the Tool Selection window. Find and insert a DVE node after Media in 1. Right-click the Rotation Y parameter. In the context menu select Modify with Anim Curves. This automatically animates the value from 0 to 180. Go to the Modifiers tab. Rename the modifier to Animate Curve. Change the scale to 1, so that the result value of the Anim Curves modifier will be from 0 to 1. We will reuse this value later. Switch back to the Tools tab. Enter equals sign in the Rotation Y parameter field. This enables the simple expression input. Set the expression to animate curve.value multiplied by 180. This is basically the same as the modifier result before we change the scale. As the flipping effect will flip along the middle and reveal the incoming image when it reaches 90 degrees, we modify the expression as shown on the screen. This will ensure the maximum rotation angle is 90 degrees. To create the center flipping effect, we can apply an effect mask to the DVE node. Change the mask height to 1. Center X to 0.25. This will limit the rotation and only affect the left half of the image. Merge Media in 2 with the DVE output. This merges the Media in 2 as the foreground. We can swap the inputs so that it becomes the background. Or you can drag the DVE output and merge with the Media in 2, which adds a merge node with foreground set to DVE 1 and background to Media in 2. But with this way, it creates a new branch. We need to change Media out input to the merged output. Click the background of the node editor to empty the node selection, press Shift space, find and add a DVE node to the editor. Branch out Media in 2, and connect to the DVE2 node. Bring the DVE2 into the viewer. Modify rotation Y parameter with the expression shown here. This expression sets a minimum 90 degrees, so the animation starts from the middle. But the result image is horizontally flipped, because this expression rotates the image from 90 to 180. To have the correct flipping animation, we modify the expression like shown here to animate the rotation from -90 degrees to 0. Similarly, we only need to rotate the right side half of the image. We can connect the existing rectangle node as the effect mask of DVE2. Go to the Settings tab of DVE2 in the inspector. Check the option to apply the mask inverted. Now only the right half image is rotating. Merge DVE2 to DVE1 as foreground input. Now we only see the animation in the second image. That's because the DVE2 output is taking over the full screen. Connect the rectangle output to the new Merge 2 node and go to the Settings tab of Merge 2 in the inspector. Invert the mask. We now have completed the flipping animation to transition from the first image to the second image. To make the animation more realistic, insert a brightness contrast node after Media in 1. Modify the gain parameter with a simple expression. This lowers the brightness of the outgoing image from 1 to 0. Okay, this looks better. One more thing is to add the crease as we fold the images. Insert another brightness node before the Media Out node. Click the rectangle button in the toolbar to add the rectangle effect mask input. Change the height to 1. Width to 0.001. Increase a bit of the soft edge. Select the brightness node. Modify the gain parameter with a simple expression as shown here. With this expression, the brightness of the masked line will change from 1 to 0.5, and then back to 1. We now have completed the fusion composition of a flip transition effect. To save this as a template for reuse in the Edit page, select all the nodes in the middle, except the Media In nodes and the Media Out node. To avoid the branches from Media In 2, hover the mouse over the Media In 2 output lines. When both lines are highlighted blue, hold the Alt key and click. A pipe router is added to route the output of Media In 2. Please make sure to first select the node connected to Media In 1, and then Control-click to add the node linked to Media In 2. Hold the Shift key and drag the mouse to select all other nodes. Right-click one of the selected nodes, and choose Macro, Create Macro. In the macro editor, enter a name for the transition effect, for example, Flip Transition Tutorial. Check the parameters we want to display as controls in the Edit page inspector. For this transition, I'd like to export the curve parameters in the AnimCurves modifier. Choose Save as Group from the option menu. Save the macro to Folder Fusion. Template. Edit. Transitions. Essential transitions. If you don't see the subfolders available, you can always create them manually. Make sure the folder names are correctly spelled. Close the macro editor and go back to the edit page. The new transition template is now available in the effects panel. Add it to the timeline. The transition is working as expected. If we go to the Transition tab in the inspector, we can use the curve parameters exposed to change the animation style. For example, set the curve to easing, change the out curve to back. Alright, that's all for today. If you want to know more of the other features in the download template, you can open it in the Fusion page and examine the node details inside the composition. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.